Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am your resident veteran special education teacher and IEP coach, and I'm so excited to share with you in this training not only the IEP screeners and how to find them within the Intentional IEP's Goal Bank, but also how to prep them in multiple different ways that really suit you, your students, and your classroom. So let's get started. I cannot wait to show you. Let's go. All right. The first step is to log in to the Intentional IEP's Goal Bank. So you're just going to go to app.theintentionaliep.com. This is going to give you access inside of membership, inside of our IEP Goal Bank. And so when you log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see we have our IEP Goal Builder where you can build your goals from scratch. You have your search by domain. Where you can dive into separate topics here, and it branches out if you want to search for different topics. Here is the goal builder, so you're going to build it out. What I'm going to use today is I already have my present levels written. I already know exactly what topics we're going to be aligned to. I'm using my IEP Matrix. And so I'm just going to do a general search term within our IEP Goal Bank here. And so when I am searching for goals within the Goal Bank, IEP goals are skills. And so all of the standards that we're teaching, regardless of what curriculum you're using, what state you teach in, what standards you're using, all of those skills that you're teaching, all of those standards are skills. And so you're going to want to search for those skills instead of the full standard itself. And so if you put in a full skill, maybe make it more of a broad search term to find the IEP goal that will match the skill that you're looking for. And so the first step that I want to do here is my fictitious student, her name is Stephanie, she's going to be in second grade, and we are going to work on a comprehension goal. And we're also going to work on a very early fraction goal because her peers are working on that towards the end of second grade, or maybe she's in third grade. And so we need to start on these skills. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull up my IEP Matrix because I want to make sure that the goals that I'm choosing, the skills that the student is going to be working on, are prerequisite skills for those higher level skills that her peers are working on. And so the first thing I want to work on is comprehension. So this is our pre-K 6 IEP Matrix. I'm going to click comprehension because this is what the skill is that I want to work on. And so we're going to work on making connections. And so you can see that here we start in kindergarten on making connections. But what I need to know first before I can even decide where to start with the matrix, what skill to choose, is I need to know what the grade level standards are, but I also need to know where Stephanie is currently performing. So I already have all of this information. And so I'm going to choose, I know that I want her to work on making connections. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type make connections into our goal bank here. And you can see that all of these goals have matched this search term or search phrase here. I didn't put the entire phrase in here. Student will, where was it? Let's just pretend it's this. Make connections to personal experience, ideas, and texts in society with adult assistance. I just did a general make connections to see what the options are. And so this is really helpful for you if you're like, I know a general skill, but I'm not quite sure what the IEP goal could be or should be. This will give you a lot of ideas. And so I'm going to look at these and I'm going to say, okay, this one looks pretty good. I think this one will be a great one for Stephanie. Let's click it to learn more. And so I can click on any of these IEP goals, right? And I can click to learn more. So you can see this skill is for 11th grade. And you'll see some of these are different here. These are for higher level skills. You can also, when you search in our Goal Bank, you can filter by grade. So you're welcome to do that as well if you didn't want those higher level skills to pop up. So you could click again on any of these. You're either going to see a data sheet accompanying that skill, like these higher level skills, or if it is a pre-K through grade 6 academic skill, you're going to see an IEP screener attached to it, and that is what I am looking for today, is for the IEP screeners. And so this skill is a kindergarten 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade skill that this IEP goal could be used for. And so you are going to want to edit. You'll copy and paste this into the student's IEP or into the draft IEP that you're going to propose this. You're going to edit it. You're going to add supports. You're going to add the criteria. You might even want to say the level of the text that you're given or the DRA level, whatever it is you're using, or maybe a specific text, a specific genre. You want it to be very specific. So you're going to copy and paste this and edit it. This is your starting place of goal. And then you can take your IEP screener. So you're going to click that link and it's going to give you the screener. And the screener, when you see it, it's a printable PDF. So you'll download it to your computer, which I'm going to do really quick. And while that's downloading, I want to share with you what you'll see with some of our screeners. So when it comes to comprehension skills, you're going to choose the text that goes along with whatever skill you're working on within comprehension. So you'll choose any text that you want to use that's on that student's level. And so you're going to see the instructions for using this text. You're going to then see the data sheet, and then you are going to see the activity pieces that go along with it. Your instructions are going to tell you how to use these pieces, and then you use the data sheet to collect all of that data from that specific trial that you did for that student. So this is our first one that we're going to grab. I have it done. It's ready to go. I've downloaded it to my computer. I have also, if you notice in the screener, you can see it here, the ELA, this is also part of the tag that you'll see. And so that's really important to remember as well. Now, the next skill that I want to do is we're, again, working on math and we're working on fractions. So I could come in here, I could type fractions, but there's so many things when it comes to fractions that you could very well type in fractions to see what pops up to get some ideas for different fractions. And there's going to be lots and lots and lots and lots of different options in here for fractions. You can click on any of them. Again, you're going to see data sheets, you're going to see screeners. As long as it is a pre-K through 6 academic skill, you will see that screener. And you can see, I'm just going to click on one to show you an example. So plotting, ordering, and comparing of fractions. It's going to show you that. It's going to give you some task cards that go along with it. They're all going to be differentiated, and you're going to be able to know what to do because the information here for differentiation is given. But what I want to work on with Stephanie this school year is I know that she is working on partitioning. And so we're at the very beginning stages of this. Her peers are working on this, but based off of, again, our IEP Matrix. So let's go back to the first page. I know we're working on fractions, and so I know that Stephanie is going to be working on partitioning shapes. And so I'm going to find that skill on here, and then I'm going to come back into the IEP Goal Bank and search for partition. Again, I didn't search for the whole phrase. I didn't search for a whole standard. I'm just searching for either a skill from within a phrase of a skill from within that standard or the curriculum map or whatever it may be, or just a specific word. And so I'm going to choose this one here at the top, just so happens to be both of them are at the top that I'm going to choose. So I'm going to grab my screener, I'm going to download it to the computer, and I'll show you what this one looks like. So again, instruction pages, there are two, so they are exactly identical. That way you can put both of them in there and use them. You have your data sheet, and then you have your task cards or your activity cards that go along with it. So there are 9 different cards for the first one. You can see this is labeled A. And so in the instructions, you have instructions for A, and then it goes down into level B, which is labeled down here as B. And then you have label as C, and it tells you again what to do with B and what to do with level C. So that differentiation is provided for you. And I'm just going to download the whole thing because I'm going to prep it, which is what we're going to do next. All right, we have chosen our IEP goals. We've gotten them ready. Everything's good to go. We've selected our screeners or printed them, downloaded them, all the good stuff from within the IEP Goal Bank, and they're ready to go. So now what I need to do is I need to prep them so they're actually ready to go, and they're ready to use. There's a lot of different ways that you can prep the IEP screeners. Again, the screener itself, the type of screener you're going to see, is very dependent upon the skill that you're working to collect data on. So a lot of tasks like fine motor tasks, gross motor tasks, social skills, play, those are a lot of our observation screeners. And so they're going to give you the instruction pages, they're going to give you the data sheet pages, but it's going to be you observing the student performing that skill, whether that is during a trial or if that is just at recess or during class. But then you have our differentiated IEP screeners, which is what we have printed out today. We have our partitioning shapes, which follows along with fractions based on prerequisite skills for fractions. And then you have making connections for comprehension, which I have here. Now, I like to color code all of the things. It is no secret here at Mrs. D's Corner, but I have gone ahead and color coded the different sets of skills within all of the different screeners. And so there are 9 different sets of skills. And so I have chosen 9 different colors to represent the screeners that I'm prepping. So I have chosen red for math. And so I have imprinted my instructions on red paper. And you're going to see a lot of different things, shades of red here when I'm going to show you different ways to prep them. And then dark blue is for math, or for comprehension, for ELA. So we're going to see blue for that. Now, when it comes to prepping your screeners, if it's an observation screener, I really like to just use a file folder. Now, you can use manila file folders. I like to use the black file folders, and then you would just I cut the instructions in half because the top and the bottom are identical. So I'll put one set on the front, so when I'm looking at the file folder, I know exactly what that screener is. And then I'll set the other set of instructions with all of the information that's needed, the data sheets, the observation activity, inside the file folder, so I have everything needed inside of here. But you could easily use color-coded file folders if you wanted to. That's one way that you can prep your screeners. You can also laminate everything needed and stick them in file folders or file cases, project cases, which fit inside of your filing cabinet. You can keep a group of them together. This is how I've chosen to prep all of my screeners that are differentiated that I'm going to be using. And so these are just mesh bags. I have them in a bunch of different sizes. They have different color zippers, so I can easily color code my skills. So you can see these ones are a little bit shallower than the other ones. And then you have the really big ones that you can fit a full-size piece of paper in, which are the ones that I like. And so I am going to be prepping with these, but there are a lot of activities where they are task card size. And so if you want to prep some of them in a task card or a photo box, this is a 7x5 photo box. You can get them at Michael's. You can get the full pack of, I think there's like 10 or 12 inside of the one photo case. And so you get all of these task boxes. You can use them. You can color code them, grab the clear ones if you wanted to. A lot of other people, and I have also prepped our assessments that we have at Mrs. D's Corner inside of binders, and so you can easily do that as well. So you can, again, color code your binders. I just grabbed these at Walmart or Target, because these are up and up. But you can use white binders, black binders, color code your binders, whatever you choose. And then you can either do student binders to where all of the student screeners are in here, or assessments or baseline dated probes, whatever you want to put inside of here for one student. This could be their binder, or you could prep a binder full of, these are all of my comprehension, or this is all of my ELA screeners that I'm going to be using this school year or this quarter, this month, and put them in a blue binder, whatever color you choose. So you can easily do that. And so you can use page protectors is my favorite way of putting things in binders. So you have page protectors, slap all of your data sheets inside the sleeves. I like to print multiples of the same data sheet so that way I can use them and I don't have to worry about reprinting them. So I'll print the original copy. I'll make copies of the data sheet and keep them all inside of the page sleeve. I found these at Walmart on clearance not too long ago, and I was like, these are task card sizes. They're actually 4x6 photo pages, and so I can fit 3 different sets of task cards. The sets that have task cards have an A, B, and C, and so you could fit all of your activity cards in here and just slide them in, which I'm gonna prep something like this and show you how to do that. And then you can also grab, I just grabbed these at Walmart. These are pouches that go inside of the 3-ring binders, and so they attach inside. You could throw this behind your instructions, or throw your instructions in here, put your data sheet behind it or in front of it, and throw everything that you need for that task inside of here, zip it up, and it's ready to go. So I am gonna prep something this way, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like here at the end. Then also different ways to pull things. So if you want to store them, I grabbed these bins, are all from Target here back to school during the 2024-2025 school year, but you can use any bins you want. Lakeshore Learning and Really Good Stuff both sell color-coded bins. Target and Walmart also sell color-coded bins, but I really like these clear or frosted clear ones. And so you can easily take all of your file folder activities that you've prepped, throw them in here, organize them out so that you knew what you were collecting data on this week, this month, whatever it may be, throw them in here. You could also pull your binder pouches out, throw them in here. You could throw your task boxes in here. You could throw these binder pouches or these mesh bags in here as well. In any of these bins, they truly they fit everything. And so whatever size you want, this is more of like a shoebox size, this is a book size, and then this is a long book size, so you can put books this way instead of this way. Just different sizes. I wanted to grab them so you could see different ways to prep. But I'm gonna work on prepping some of these right now. So you're gonna see me speed things up now so you don't have to watch me prep all the things. And then at the end, I will show you what I have prepped, what it looks like, what it could look like for you. Just a couple of different ways that you could prep some activities for your IEP screeners. Let's speed things along here so you don't have to hang around for 15 additional minutes watching me prep these different resources. Again, you prep them in the way that you see best fit for your classroom, but let me show you the different ways that you could prep these IEP screeners. All right, so I have prepped the ELA one just in one way because it has to go with books, right? So we're doing comprehension, and so this was the easiest way in my brain to think about how to prep this specific activity for ease of use, right? And so the instructions of this specific task say, give the child the recording sheet, say today we're going to talk about the connections in text, and then read the chosen text with the child. And so with this mesh bag with the instructions and activities, because the answer sheet's in here and so are my questions, I threw in some different books. So to get students engaged, I could have them choose a book, I could give them options, or I could just choose a book that we've recently read in the classroom and have them answer questions. It could be a book that they already know and love. It could be a brand new book to them. It's really up to you. You get to choose the text, or you can have the student choose the text as well. So I went ahead and threw the mesh bag in here with the instructions, and then the instructions say with level A, read the sentence stems and insert examples when in bold. Student completes the sentences. B, differentiation B is read the sentence stems, student completes the sentences, and then prompt C is read the prompt and students answer aloud. And so these are all labeled, these are those questions. So we have A's questions, B's questions, and C's questions. With A, you're only gonna have them answer A, you're gonna do A and B, and then A, B, and C for level C. So you have everything that you need here. Everything that I need. So if I wanted a paraprofessional or another adult that's working in the classroom to help me with collecting data on this specific task, I could hand them this mesh bag with the instructions, everything that's needed, say, hey, have the student pick out a book, or here's the book I've chosen to go with this activity, and hand them everything and they're ready to go. So it is here, ready to go. So that's why I love the mesh bags, because they're so easy to just transport whenever you may need them. And so that is why I prepped this also, this next one, the math one, where we're talking about partitioning 2D shapes. And so I prepped it in this format because, in the larger bag, because levels B and C have a larger sheet and they're not task cards, but level A is task cards. And so what I did was, for the mesh bag, I put everything in this folder. Now I would laminate the different leveled options. I didn't bring my laminator out to prep these, so I will throw them in the laminator after this. But I threw my answer sheets in here. I have my instruction sheets on top to go with it. I have my task cards from level A, and then I have my level B and level C differentiation ready to go as well. And so you could either print doubles of these or laminate these and use a dry erase marker. Same with these. It just depends on what you want to do with that student, and it depends on your student as well. And so I prepped it that way in the mesh bag because, again, I can hand this to a support staff in my classroom, or I could send it home with the parent as an activity. Here's something Stephanie's working on in the classroom. Go ahead, there's a data sheet in there if you want to collect data, if you just want to practice the skill. This is something that we're working on with her IEPs. Go ahead and hand that off. But I also did prep it in the binder. Now, so if I were doing binders, personally for me, I would probably do it in two ways, similar to how I do adaptive work binders. And so for the adaptive work binders, I prep the entire thing. So I would prep all of the screeners that I needed for all of the math IEP goals in my classroom, along with some prerequisite skills, because students are going to make progress and some students are going to regress. And that's just the nature of teaching special education, right? We need the levels above and below to help our students master all of the skills. And so I would just prep a bunch of the skills that align with where my students' IEPs are, aligned with where they are currently performing, to help them master those skills. And so then from there, I would probably put those in black binders or white binders and just throw them into probably a 3-inch binder. And then each of my students, again, similar to how I do adaptive work binders, would have their own individual work binder. So this would work the same way as an IEP work bin. You could easily do these screeners in their IEP work bins. I'll leave a link here for how to do IEP work bins and all of that stuff as well. But you could then take all of these activities out of here, throw them in IEP work bins, Or you could just say, Stephanie, go grab your screener binder, your screener bin, and we're gonna work on some things, or have a paraprofessional do it, or another staff in your classroom can work on it as well. And so what I did was the very first page in here, and I would add tabs to these page protectors. You can get sticker tabs that are fairly cheap and then print your own labels, and that's what I would do personally. So what I did was I threw the instructions in here on top of multiple copies of the data sheet. And then the very next data sheet, or the next slider in here, this next screen protector, there's two different ways you could do it. And so I did it both ways to show you in a binder. So you wouldn't have one or the other, you would choose which one you wanted. This would be the front page always, because it has your instructions in your data sheet, so you know what's coming next. You can either do the photo pockets, and these are great if you have 3 sets of task cards. Some of the screeners do have 3 sets of differentiated task cards, and so you would throw them in here. They do fit real nice. You can see the one in here, so I just split the one set up and threw some in here. And then on the next page, I threw another screen protector in level B and C, because they're not going to fit into this photo sleeve. I threw it into its own page sleeve. You could also throw it on the back of your data sheet here so that they're there. But then you also have this pocket here, which I know a lot of you love these. I love these binder pockets as well. And they come in different sizes and all of the good stuff, different shapes, and like mesh bags and everything. So you find the ones that work best for you. But I just grabbed these, and so I threw the task cards in here. You could probably cut these out as well into strips, throw them in here if you wanted to do that as well. But you do have the option to prep this in many, many different ways. If you wanted to throw it in a file folder, let me show you what that would look like. I'm gonna grab one. I have some other screeners prepped here that I can show you what that might look like. So you can see I have different topics prepped here. And so everything is in here. These ones are laminated, ready to go. We have science, I have another English. This one is social studies, and then this one is math. And so they're all prepped, ready to be used. This one is for social skills, I believe, or health and physical development. That's what this one is. This one is play and social play. This one is social skills. And then this one, this one's technology, and light blue is, oh, I forget what the last one is. So I forget, but I'll link everything below this product description for you. But just to show you what a file folder might look like, again, I printed the instructions on colored paper so that I knew, these are all the same when I go to prep them. So it's taped on the front. You could laminate the folders if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then I went in here, I have the instruction sheet. The other half, I have my data sheet, and then if there's another data sheet or a student reporting sheet, I have it together with a file or with a paper clip, and so that is what is inside of this file folder. You could easily throw all of your task cards in here as well if you wanted to, or label them in such a way as to where you would have a file folder and task boxes, and then have your task boxes labeled by however you wanted to label them. So it's really up to you how you want to prep your IEP screeners. I wanted to show you a variety of different ways that you could prep them. There is no right way, there is no wrong way, there is only the way that is best for you, your students in your classroom this school year, and it may change from one school year to the next. Don't let that discourage you. Be flexible, you've got this. And if there's anything that I can do, any other questions that I can answer along the lines of the IEP screeners or our IEP Goal Bank at the Intentional IEP, please reach out and let me know. Put a comment here on this video, whether you're watching it on Facebook, on YouTube, on whatever social media platform. You can also always reach out to me via email at support@mrsdscorner.com or at support@theintentionaliep.com. And I will answer any questions that you do have and share any videos or blog posts or resources that will help you in your journey as a special education teacher and caseload manager. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, and I will see y'all in the next training.